everyone, my name is Sean, and in today's video we're going to be talking about ways to beat the Apex Avian loop. Now I posted a video on my channel yesterday. If you don't know what it is, this is a variant of the Lunalight combo deck. However, I've seen variants of this deck work with spirals as well, where you end on a board where you have Apex Avian and it's able to use its negate effect in an infinite loop to constantly negate every single one of your opponent's effects. The deck looks very powerful, and it's a very powerful combo. And if you don't know how to counter it, it can be really frustrating to deal with. However, it is by no means unbeatable. And while I still consider it a very powerful deck for Link Evolution, because you're playing on 1v1 format and you don't have the ability to side deck and stuff, particular like matchup cards in, it still can be beaten nonetheless. And that is what this video is about. So the Apex Avian combo was originally talked about a lot in April 2020, just before Master Rule 5 hit the game, and we started to have the rule where we were allowed to put XCs, Synchros, and Fusion monsters back in the main monster zone without first using a Link monster to point to them. And a lot of people were trying to figure out what were going to be the best decks for the new format with this thing. And this is where this came up with. Like, a lot of people were experimenting with like DDDs, a lot of people were experimenting with mermails and different decks, and so a lot of people discovered Lunalights, and Lunalights were really powerful at the time. Fortunately and unfortunately, Lunalight Tiger got banned before Master Rule 5 hit the game, and therefore no one really ever used the Apex Avian loop, because the best way to do it was to use it in Lunalights. Even though you can use it in other things, we've seen it in spirals before, you've seen it in more of a pure wing beast variant, but most people try to do it in Lunalights. And yeah, because Tiger got banned, it never really hit competitive play too much. Now in Link Evolution, we are using the World's ban list, a combination of the January TCG ban list and I think the January OCG ban list. And so yeah, the Lunalight Tiger is still legal in this game, and so this loop can be done, and it can be done really well. So I'm going to go through the combo again and just explain it. The first thing you want to do is make Raid Raptor 4 Strix, which requires you to just have 2 level 4s on the field, and then you can detach the material from it to search out your Raid Raptor Singing Lanius, which can then summon itself to the field, and then you've got 2 Dark Wing Beast monsters on the field. Once you have that, you can summon out Raid Raptor Y Strix, and when Raid Raptor Y Strix is summoned, it will summon a level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck in defense position, but its effects will be negated. Your primary target for this is Zephyros the Elite, a card that's already played in Lunalights because you can bounce Tiger back. But if you've already got access to Zephyros, or you've drawn it early in the game, it doesn't matter, you can go for something else instead. That's why we play 1 Chris and 1 Boar of Despair, in case you end up in that situation where you need to use one of those instead of using Zephyros. Now, Lunalight Tiger is going back to the field. We're going to summon back our level 4s. The card that you summon via Y Strix cannot be used for a Link summon, but we can use it for a rank XC play, and that is our next goal and what we're going to do next for here. We're going to first activate Kaleido Chick. Kaleido Chick, even though it is negated, the cost can still be activated, and therefore it will send a Lunalight card from our deck to the graveyard. And that's really all you care about. You don't care about the main effect of Lunalight Kaleido Chick, so it's quite insane how good that card is. And then we're going to use our 2 level 4s to make another copy of Raid Raptor 4 Strix. The reason why you have to make 2 4 Strix in this combo instead of just the 1 is because now that Y Strix is on the field, if we trigger the effect of a Dark Wing Beast Xyz monster, we can then trigger the second effect of Y Strix. So we're going to use the effect of 4 Strix again, detach the Zephyros, get it out of the way because we want it in the graveyard and not attached to our monster. And this time it doesn't really matter what you add, we're just going to go for one of the Black Wing cards. As long as you have one of them and you have a way to summon another to the field, you can use either or, and Zephyros is going to be able to fulfill that condition. Now Y Strix, when a Dark Wing Beast Xyz monster is activated, Y Strix allows us to set a rank up magic spell from our deck directly to the field, and so we can activate that right now to go into 4 Strix. This is really nice. We pay half our life points to target a rank 4 card in our graveyard, but then we're going to be able to use it as material to rank up into a rank 6 monster. And the card that we're going for, as you can see, is Cyber Dragon Infinity. This is really good because Infinity can protect the remainder of the combo from card effects like Nibiru or Gamma if your opponent is just trying to wait until they use it. So it is really good at this point to summon this card out because yeah, it's such a powerful effect, and it's just one of the negates we're going to have on the board. Ideally, however, you want to save this negate as long as you can possibly save it for, so just keep it on the field and leave it there chilling. Now, we're now going to go into our Seymour play, and I said this in yesterday's video, but I'll say it again. Before your end phase, you must have at least 2 monster zones empty and at least 7 spell and trap zones empty between you and your opponent. So you can only use 3 or have only 3 of your spell and trap zones filled up. Any more than that, and you won't be able to do this combo. It does also mean that this combo is a little bit more harder to do going second, because if your opponent sets a bunch of cards, if they set anywhere more than 4 cards on the field, then 4 or more, then you can't summon out Apex Avian via Seymour's effect. You have to do it a different way. But then in that case, you can just play Lunar Lights, and the combo, the deck still functions really well using all of the other cards. Plus, if you're going second, you're probably not going for the infinite negate combo. You're probably going for something like Boral Sword, so it doesn't matter too much. Now that we've got Seymour in play, we've used Chris and Zephyros onto the field. We've got plenty of extenders. We're going to make Union Carrier. Union Carrier, it requires either 2 monsters with the same type or attribute, which both of those cards were anyway. And then we're going to use Union Carrier's effect to equip you choose a monster on the field and equip it with a monster of the same type and attribute from our deck or hand. And this is really important because you can still do this combo as long as you have Thunderbird on your hand or your field. Even if you draw it early, you can still do the combo, which is really nice. And it just means you have 1 less extender in your hand to play with, but it is what it is. And the same thing goes for Seymour to summon out Apex Avian. As long as it's in your deck or it's in your hand, you're still safe. You can still do the combo. So we don't want to end the combo there, however, even though we're running out of time. One of the major weaknesses of this combo is the attack and defense of Thunderbird. What I would normally do if you had no other interactions, let's say, or you just had Cyber Dragon Infinity, one thing you could easily do is bait out a negate, let it flip, let it return to the hand and summon itself back to the field, and then Thunderbird is vulnerable to an attack. So you just attack over it, get rid of it, and then your opponent only has 2 more negates or 1 negate left on the field, depending on what their resources are. But what we're doing here is we're summoning out IP Masquerainer. And IP Masquerainer is going to allow us to do a link summon during our opponent's turn that will protect our monster from being attacked. So we'll work on that in the next turn. Ending the turn, we've got to Apex Avian, that's on the field, and the loop is now complete. So Oscar Relentless is going to draw a card, and let's see what he can do. As I've already alluded to, he will be able to break this combo, but we'll show it how it is. So he's going to activate True King Angmazard, the Vanisher. So he is basically revealing that he is playing Dinosaurs. And this is one of the best. Dinosaurs is such a top tier deck in this game because of this reason. It works really well at just trampling over combo decks. It is what destroyed Spirals back in pre-Master Rule 5 format in 2020. And while Dinosaurs exist in the game, combo decks will also almost always have kind of like an answer to them. It's not always the case. There are some very tough combo decks, like Emancipators were too much powerful for Dinosaurs to beat, but it's nice that there's an option to go second against them. And so what we're going to do here is we've changed Apex Avian's effect, and then he has changed Miscellaneous Saurus. Miscellaneous Saurus is a nutty card. It's so insane. It makes all dinosaurs unaffected by card effects for the rest of the turn, and that is really powerful. So he's activated 1 Miscellaneous Saurus. We've negated it with Cyber Dragon Infinity, and now just to protect our monsters from battle, we're going to activate IP Masquerader's effect. But lo and behold, he has another copy of Miscellaneous Saurus. Miscellaneous Saurus is now going to resolve. I have no more negates, and so it is very good, very powerful. So Miscellaneous Saurus was chain 6, I believe. IP Masquerader was chain 5, and so IP Masquerader is going to hit the field along with it's going to summon out Avramax. Now, normally this would be like our second win condition. By summoning out Aphromax via IP Masquerena, the card is immune to destruction, immune to target. Your opponent cannot target this card with effects, and it can't really be destroyed by battle because anytime it fights a monster that was special summoned, it will take its attack and attack over it anyway. So it's a really, really powerful thing. But my opponent just had enough outs for it. And any deck that can run like a good amount of counters like Kaijus, Dark Ruler no more, evenly matched, things like Miscellaneousaurus, of course, just really ways to out a board like this can break through the loop. It is definitely not invincible. I think in the video that I showed yesterday, even something like Cosmic Cyclone, a well-timed Cosmic Cyclone, can break the loop. You just got to be really, really smart about it. But it won't always happen, you know, you're dependent on what you've drawn. And Oscar drew the nuts here. So dinosaurs are really, really good counter to this deck. This deck is by no means unbeatable. And that's why a lot of people kind of stop playing it, because it is a powerful loop, but it kind of is better to kind of have flexibility, in my opinion, as opposed to relying on the same combo every time. Because if this was a match and we had a second game and a third game, it would be a lot easier to counter once you've done some side decking in. For Legacy of the Duelist, however, and Link Evolution, your best bet is to play a deck. I hope you're playing a deck or chosen a deck where you can have a lot of good go second cards. Naturally, that doesn't hurt the consistency of your deck. Obviously, not every deck will be able to do this, but what can work really well also are, say, certain control decks. Let's say you do a deck where you're playing like Altergeist or Subterra, and you can, say, use a counter trap to negate the effect of Apex Avian after activating another card. The other negates won't be fast enough to respond to it because counter traps are spell speed free, and therefore you'll break the loop that way too. So it is by no means. Salamangreats can do it as well. Salamangreats with Salamangreat Rage, they can break the loop as well. So it's really by no means invincible, even though it looks very, very powerful. So Oscar is just breaking my board. He's going nuts right now. He's flipped my monsters face down. He's gotten rid of Aphromax. Aphromax was my last saving grace to protect me from this, but he got rid of it with a Kaiju using Dogoron. And at this point, there's really nothing I can do. Aphromax is activated, so it can shuffle one card on the field back into the deck, but the dinosaurs can't be activated or can't be targeted, so I can only really shuffle in my own cards, and that's not going to help me. So it is what it is. But I think you guys get the idea. Dinosaurs, really, really powerful. I did upload a deck profile for dinosaurs not too long ago. I think last week I did a deck profile short. I have done videos on it in the past, and it is a deck I wanted to revisit. And I thought this was a good opportunity to kind of touch on the deck as well, because I've done so many combo decks recently. I don't want people to think that those are the only good decks in the game. You don't have to play combo. You can play Go Second, Big Boy, Trample, beatdown style decks, and that is what Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is doing right now. He's attacking all the defense position monsters. I already half my life points thanks to rank up Magic Soul Shave, and so now I'm taking 1,000 burn for every monster. He's gonna hit my Samorg, and that's gonna be game right there. So guys, yeah, the loop can be broken. What would you guys do if you were playing against this loop? Would you be able to break it yourself? And what do you think of the deck in terms of its power ranking against other decks? Thank you guys for watching this video as always. I'll see you soon. Take care.